What if your exhaustion is not coming from work, but from the place where you are supposed to recover? Harsh light, constant noise, and rushed routines can keep your brain alert even after the day is over. Japanese homes often create the opposite effect. They use simple habits that help the body slow down and the mind finally rest. But the most surprising habit has nothing to do with decoration or expensive furniture. Here are 10 Japanese ways to turn a draining home into a peaceful space that restores you. 1. Why Japanese homes feel calm before you even sit down. The calming effect of a Japanese home often begins at the entrance. The moment you step inside, the atmosphere encourages you to leave the speed, noise, and pressure of the outside world behind. Shoes are removed, movement becomes slower, and the transition into the living space feels intentional rather than rushed. This simple pause creates a clear boundary between public stress and private rest. Walking directly into bright lights, scattered belongings, or several competing activities, you enter a space that feels quiet and easy for the mind to understand. Nothing demands an immediate reaction. The entrance gives you a few moments to breathe, adjust, and become aware that the day is changing. This matters because the body does not relax simply because you arrive home. It relaxes when the environment sends signals of safety and calm. A peaceful entrance can slow your breathing, release tension from your shoulders, and reduce the feeling that you must keep moving. Before you reach a chair or begin your evening, the home has already started restoring you by helping your mind move gently from alertness into rest. 2. The invisible rush that never leaves most homes. Many people leave work, return home, and believe the busy part of the day is finished. But the feeling of rushing often follows them through the door. They walk quickly from one room to another, check their phones while eating, begin several tasks at once, and treat every small pause as wasted time. The body may be at home, but the mind is still behaving as if it must keep up with the outside world. Japanese homes often create a slower rhythm through simple routines. Shoes are removed carefully, belongings are returned to their proper places, meals are prepared with attention, and one activity is completed before the next begins. These actions are not about moving painfully slowly. They are about removing unnecessary urgency from ordinary moments. When everything is done in a hurry, even simple tasks begin to feel heavy. Making tea becomes another job. Washing dishes feels like pressure. Moving through the house becomes a series of unfinished actions competing for attention. Over time, this constant speed keeps the nervous system active and prevents the home from feeling restful. A calmer home begins when you stop carrying the pace of the outside world into every room. Slow down the first few actions after arriving home. Put one thing away properly. Sit for a moment before starting the next task. Let one room have one purpose at a time. These small changes help the mind understand that there is no emergency, nothing is chasing you, and the day can finally begin to soften. 3. Your eyes may be working harder than your body. Walk into 2 different homes for just 1 minute. In the first, every shelf is full, every wall is covered, and every corner seems to ask for your attention. Nothing feels obviously wrong, yet after a few moments, the room somehow feels heavy. In the second home, there are fewer distractions, softer colors, and enough open space for your eyes to move without effort. Strangely, your body begins to relax even though nothing dramatic has changed. This is something Japanese homes understand remarkably well. They are not designed to impress the eyes with more, they are designed to give the eyes less work to do. Every object has a purpose, every space has room to breathe, and nothing competes for your attention without a reason. The human brain is constantly processing everything your eyes see, even when you are not consciously paying attention. A crowded environment quietly demands hundreds of tiny moments of focus throughout the day. Over time, those invisible demands become mental fatigue. That is why you can spend hours at home and still feel strangely exhausted. Japanese homes remind us that true comfort is not created by filling every empty space. It is created by giving the eyes moments of rest, allowing the mind to slow down naturally and letting peace become something you experience instead of something you have to search for. 4. Japanese families create tiny moments of calm. All day long, peace in a Japanese home is not something people wait for at the end of the day. It is created little by little through small moments that gently slow life down. Instead of rushing from one task to the next without stopping, they build simple pauses into their daily routine. It might be taking a moment to neatly place their shoes at the entrance, opening a window to let in fresh air, quietly preparing a cup of tea, or restoring a room before moving on to the next activity. These actions may seem ordinary, but together they create a rhythm that helps the mind stay calm instead of constantly feeling rushed. The beauty of these habits is that they require very little time, yet they have a powerful effect on how the home feels. Each small pause gives the brain a chance to reset before the next part of the day begins. Rather than carrying stress from one activity into another, each moment has a clear beginning and a peaceful ending. This prevents tension from quietly building up hour after hour. These tiny rituals become more than daily chores. They become signals that remind the body to slow down and the mind to stay present. Instead of waiting for a holiday or weekend to feel relaxed, Japanese families create dozens of small opportunities to recover every single day. That is why many of their homes don't just look peaceful, they help the people living in them feel peaceful from morning until night. 5. Every corner should invite peace, not ask for attention. Imagine walking into a room where every corner seems to compete for your attention. One side is filled with decorations, another has piles of everyday items, and somewhere in the background there are tangled cables, shopping bags, or things waiting to be put away. None of these may seem like a big problem on their own, but together, they create a space that quietly keeps the mind alert. Instead of feeling welcomed, your attention is constantly being pulled from one thing to another. Japanese homes take a different approach. They believe that every corner should have a clear purpose and a sense of balance. Whether it is a reading corner, a dining space, or simply an empty area beside a window, each part of the home is allowed to feel calm rather than crowded. Nothing is placed there just to fill space. Every object earns its place by being useful, meaningful, or bringing a sense of quiet beauty. This matters because the brain never truly stops noticing its surroundings. Even when you are resting, your mind is still taking in every shape, color, and object around you. When every corner is asking for your attention, your mental energy slowly disappears without you realizing it. But when each space feels open, intentional, and easy to understand, your mind no longer has to work so hard. That is one of the quiet secrets behind many Japanese homes. They are not designed to impress people with how much they contain. They are designed to make every corner feel gentle, peaceful, and effortless to live in. When every part of your home begins to support your peace instead of competing for your attention, the entire house starts to feel lighter, and so do you. 6. Why Japanese homes rarely feel emotionally heavy. There are homes where nothing seems out of place, yet the atmosphere still feels strangely heavy. You walk inside, and without anyone saying a word, you can almost feel the stress that has built up over time. Unfinished arguments, constant rushing, daily frustrations, and emotional tension have a way of settling into the environment. Even when the house is clean, it doesn't always feel peaceful. That is because a home is shaped not only by the things inside it, but also by the emotions that are repeatedly experienced within its walls. Japanese families understand that a peaceful home is created by more than good design. It is also created by the energy people bring into it every day. This is why many of their daily habits encourage a gentle transition from the outside world to the inside. Before carrying work, stress, or frustration into the living space, they slow down, become present, and allow the home to remain a place of comfort rather than another source of pressure. Another reason Japanese homes often feel emotionally lighter is that they avoid allowing negative moments to linger longer than necessary. A disagreement is not allowed to define the entire evening. A stressful day is not carried from one room into the next. Small acts of care, such as sharing tea, preparing a meal together, opening the windows, restoring a room before bedtime, or simply enjoying a few quiet moments, help reset the atmosphere before tension has the chance to settle in. This gentle approach teaches an important lesson. Every conversation, every habit, and every routine leaves a small emotional footprint inside the home. When those footprints are filled with constant stress, the house slowly begins to feel emotionally exhausting. But when they are filled with kindness, patience, gratitude, and quiet moments of connection, the entire atmosphere begins to change. The home becomes more than just a place to sleep. It becomes a space where the mind naturally relaxes, where the heart feels lighter, and where the body can truly recover from the demands of everyday life. That is why many Japanese homes leave people with a feeling that is difficult to describe. They are not simply quiet, they feel emotionally safe, and that quiet sense of safety is often the deepest form of peace a home can offer. 7. The forgotten evening habit that resets tomorrow. For many people, the day doesn't really end, it simply fades into the next one. Dinner is finished, the television stays on, phones remain in their hands, dishes are left for the morning, and everyone goes to bed hoping tomorrow will somehow feel less stressful. But when the home is left in the same rushed state as the day, the mind never receives a clear signal that it is time to let go. Instead of ending with a sense of completion, the brain quietly carries unfinished thoughts, small responsibilities, and mental clutter into the night. Many Japanese households approach the evening differently. Rather than seeing the last few minutes before bed as unimportant, they treat them as the beginning of tomorrow. Before going to sleep, they often spend a few quiet moments restoring the home to a calm and orderly state. A blanket is folded neatly, the dining table is cleared, the kitchen is wiped down, cushions are returned to their places, and windows may be opened briefly to let in fresh air before the house settles for the night. None of these actions take very long, yet together they create a powerful feeling that the day has been completed with care. These evening habits are not about chasing perfection or making the house look spotless. They are about giving your mind closure. When you wake up to a peaceful environment, your first moments are no longer spent thinking about yesterday's unfinished tasks. Instead, you begin the day with a sense of clarity, order, and quiet confidence. The home feels ready to support you, instead of reminding you of everything that still needs to be done. There is also something deeply comforting about ending the day with gentle, familiar rituals. Preparing tomorrow's teacup, placing your slippers neatly by the entrance, dimming the lights, or simply taking one slow walk through your home before bed tells your nervous system that the busy part of the day is over. These small actions become a bridge between activity and rest, allowing both the body and the mind to gradually slow down instead of stopping abruptly. This simple evening reset changes more than the appearance of the home. It changes how you wake up, how you begin your mornings, and even how you carry yourself throughout the day. Instead of opening your eyes to yesterday's mess, you wake up to a space that feels welcoming, peaceful, and ready for a fresh start. That is one of the quiet reasons many Japanese homes feel so restorative. They understand that tomorrow's peace is often created by the small choices you make before going to sleep tonight. 8. Your home should restore your senses, not overstimulate them. The way a home feels is shaped by much more than what you can see. Every day, your senses are constantly taking in information without you even realizing it. Bright lights, loud televisions, constant notifications, strong artificial scents, cluttered surfaces, echoing rooms, and even stale air all send continuous signals to your brain. Each one may seem harmless on its own, but together, they create an environment that quietly keeps your nervous system active. This is why many people spend hours at home yet never feel truly refreshed. Their body is resting, but their senses are still working overtime. Japanese homes take a much gentler approach. Instead of filling every moment with stimulation, they create an environment where the senses can gradually slow down. Natural daylight is welcomed whenever possible. Soft and warm lighting replaces harsh brightness during the evening. Windows are opened to allow fresh air to circulate, and unnecessary noise is kept to a minimum. Rather than constantly competing for attention, the home quietly supports relaxation through balance and simplicity. Sound also plays a surprisingly important role. In many homes, there is always something playing in the background: a television, music, social media videos, or endless phone notifications. Over time, the brain begins to treat constant noise as normal, making true silence feel uncomfortable. Japanese homes often allow quiet moments to exist naturally. Instead of filling every second with sound, they make room for peaceful background noises, such as a gentle breeze through an open window, the soft pouring of tea, rain falling outside, or the simple stillness of an undisturbed room. These gentle sounds allow the mind to settle, instead of remaining constantly stimulated. Even the way a room feels to the touch can influence your mood. Natural materials such as wood, cotton, linen, bamboo, and paper create a softer, warmer atmosphere than hard, artificial surfaces everywhere. Soft textures, comfortable seating, and uncluttered walkways make the home feel welcoming without demanding attention. Nothing feels overwhelming because every element works together instead of competing with one another. The goal is not to create a perfectly silent or empty house. Life will always have movement, conversations, and everyday activity. The Japanese philosophy is simply to remove unnecessary stimulation so the senses have opportunities to recover. When your eyes are not overwhelmed, your ears are not constantly filled with noise, the air feels fresh, and every room encourages calm instead of distraction, your entire body begins to respond differently. These small changes reshape how you experience your home. You no longer walk inside feeling mentally exhausted after a long day. Instead, the moment you enter, your breathing becomes slower, your thoughts become clearer, and your shoulders begin to relax without conscious effort. That is one of the quiet secrets behind many Japanese homes. They do not simply provide shelter. They create an environment where every sense is gently reminded that it is finally safe to rest. 9. The quiet discipline that keeps peace from slowly disappearing. A peaceful home is not created by one weekend of cleaning or by buying a few beautiful decorations. It is built through small daily habits that prevent stress and disorder from quietly returning. This is one of the reasons many Japanese homes continue to feel calm year after year. They do not wait until the house becomes overwhelming before taking action. Instead, they make small corrections every single day, allowing peace to remain part of everyday life rather than something they constantly have to rebuild. Think about how disorder usually begins. It rarely happens all at once. One jacket is left on a chair, a few dishes stay in the sink, a package sits unopened in the hallway. Shoes are left by the door, and a pile of papers slowly grows on the table. Each item seems too small to matter, so it is easy to ignore. But over days and weeks, these tiny habits quietly change how the home feels. Without realizing it, the mind starts seeing unfinished tasks everywhere it looks. Even when you try to relax, part of your attention is still noticing everything that needs to be done. Japanese households often prevent this by following a simple principle: leave each space a little better than you found it. After using something, it is returned to its place. After finishing a meal, the table is cleared instead of becoming tomorrow's problem. Before leaving a room, they take a few seconds to restore order. These actions are so small that they barely interrupt the day, yet together, they prevent disorder from growing into something mentally exhausting. This quiet discipline is not about strict rules or creating a perfect home. It is about reducing the number of small decisions your brain has to carry every day. When everything has a place and simple routines are followed consistently, your mind no longer wastes energy thinking about dozens of unfinished tasks. Instead of constantly reminding yourself what still needs attention, you can focus on the present moment with a greater sense of ease. Another important lesson is that peace is something that must be protected, not assumed. Just as a garden needs regular care to remain beautiful, a peaceful home needs small acts of attention to keep its calming atmosphere alive. Ignoring little things today often creates bigger problems tomorrow, while taking care of them early keeps the home feeling light, welcoming, and easy to live in. These tiny habits become almost effortless. You no longer clean because the house is out of control. You simply care for your surroundings a little each day, and your surroundings begin caring for you in return. That is one of the quiet strengths of many Japanese homes. Their peaceful atmosphere is not the result of occasional effort. It is the result of consistent, mindful habits that protect calm before chaos has a chance to take its place. 10. The real secret is not the house. It's the feeling you create inside it. After exploring all of these Japanese habits, you may have noticed something important. None of them require a larger house, expensive furniture, luxury decorations, or a complete renovation. The greatest lesson is not about changing the building. It is about changing the experience of living inside it. A peaceful home is created long before you buy something new. It begins with the way you move through your space, the habits you repeat every day, and the atmosphere you choose to create for yourself and the people around you. Japanese culture reminds us that a home is much more than four walls and a roof. It is the place where your body recovers after a long day, where your mind processes its thoughts, and where your heart should feel safe enough to let go of stress. When a home constantly demands your attention through noise, clutter, rushed routines, or endless distractions, it quietly takes more from you than it gives back. But when every room encourages calm, every habit supports balance, and every corner feels welcoming, the home begins to do what it was always meant to do. It restores you. This transformation rarely happens through one big change. It happens through dozens of small choices made consistently over time. Opening a window each morning instead of rushing past it, putting one item back where it belongs, choosing a few minutes of silence instead of reaching for your phone, preparing a simple cup of tea without hurrying, walking into each room with intention instead of carrying yesterday's stress into today. These actions may seem ordinary on their own, but together they slowly change the emotional atmosphere of the entire home. The most beautiful lesson from Japanese living is that peace is not something you wait to feel after everything becomes perfect. Peace is something you practice through the smallest moments of everyday life. The more often you choose calm over chaos, simplicity over excess, and presence over constant distraction, the more your home begins to reflect those choices. Before long, the space around you starts encouraging the same peace that you have been creating within yourself. So don't feel that you need to change your entire home overnight. Start with one room, one habit, one quiet moment each day. Give your senses a chance to rest, allow your routines to become gentler, and let your home become a place that supports your well-being instead of quietly draining it. Because in the end, the true secret of a peaceful Japanese home is not found in its size, its style, or the things it contains. It is found in the feeling it creates every time someone walks through the door. And when your home begins to make you feel lighter, calmer, and more present, you discover something that no expensive decoration can ever provide: a place where your mind can finally rest, your body can truly recover, and peace becomes part of everyday life rather than something you keep searching for. Your home should not be another place you have to survive. It should be where your breathing slows, your thoughts become quieter, and your energy begins to return. The Japanese approach teaches us that peace is not created by perfection. It is created through small choices repeated every day, softening the atmosphere, protecting the senses, and removing the habits that keep the mind tense. Do not try to change everything tonight. Choose one idea from this video and begin there. Because when your home finally stops demanding energy from you, it can start giving that energy back.